Okay, part 3, reassembly. Um, First things first, we'll grab the frame. We're going to take the trigger. It only goes in one way. So we'll just feed it through the back. As I say, there's two little notches kind of there that it slides into. It only goes in one way. Push it in, and there's your trigger in. Now we're going to put in our mag release. Okay, so we're going to make sure the trigger's forward. We're going to drop this mag release in and just kind of push it in. Now what we'll do is same thing to remove it. As we did to remove it, we're going to slightly push up on it. Again guys, sorry, I'm doing this backwards to me, so it's kind of like looking in a mirror doing it. What I'm going to do here is slightly hold it up, or push it forward, sorry, and then just twist the screw. And you'll know, because you'll turn the screw, it'll turn nice and easy, and it'll snap into place once that spring in there releases. So there you have it. You can push on it. It's not going anywhere. Okay, so that's that. Next, we're going to do sear. What I do with it is I put it all together beginning. This flat bit here will go in the gun like that. It rests kind of on the back of the trigger, flush with the trigger. So it goes in like that, and this one just kind of sits on top of it. So it'll look like that. Okay, so I put them in together. Do it however you want. What's going to happen here is we're going to put it in, drop it in, and set this down. It's going to go right up in that hole there. Top of it will be exposed through there. So we're going to take it. I'm going to drop it in just like that. Make sure that it's coming up out of the top, which it is, and it is resting on, if I can point to it here, that flat bit there is resting on this, which is the back of that trigger setup. So it's resting there. Basically what you want to do here is line it up with the holes. To do that, I use this little screwdriver or a little pin punch thing. I line it up with the holes, and I'm going to push my pin through to lock it in place. Obviously the rounded end I'm going to push into the gun like that, leaving the flat end on this side. So the side that the thumb safety goes on is what you're going to push through. Once the holes are lined up, there, push it through, it's in. You can check it by wiggling the gun, and obviously if that pin wasn't seated properly, it would drop out. So it's in there good. We're set. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to put the trigger in, or sorry, the trigger, the hammer in. I'm going to put the hammer in now, so we can just set that right there. Again, we're going to line up the hole, and same as before, same as removal. Don't get these pins mixed up. They can only go in one way, or one on each hole, but like, you know. So anyways, take your hammer pin. It's got the flat bit and the round bit, same as the other pins. You're going to push it through and out the other side. There's a nice round bit right there, and the flat. So I can try to pull on the hammer. It doesn't come out. So now we're going to put in the mainspring like that. So what we're going to do is, it's got this little bit right here coming down. That is going to sit right there, kind of on the back of that sear. I don't know if you can really tell, it's kind of dark in there, but anyways, it's going to sit right in there. you'll know because there's a little slit here too, that this the bottom bit on here, right there, it kind of locks in there. So anyways, so we're gonna put that on. So that, as I said, will sit right there, and we drop that in, making sure to click it in to the bottom there, which it is. Just a sec. Click it into the bottom. There you go. So it's in there. It's just kind of resting in there right now. So what you want to do is you want to take the mainspring housing. You want to push that in, not all the way, just enough so you can see the kind of the pressure go down onto the mainspring, just enough to hold it in there. Okay. And you can check it with the hammer. There's your 2 cocks. Okay, and release it. So you can tell that it's set up properly before you go putting the whole thing back together, figure out it's wrong, and then you have to strip it again. Just put that in, put the mainspring housing in part way, just to put enough pressure on the mainspring. Then you can take the hammer, and if you listen, there's your first click, that's your half cock position, and if you keep going, that's your full cock. So you know that it's set up properly. Now you can pull the trigger and release it. Okay. So now what you want to do, grip safety, you can set that in. And again, you're just going to line up the hole. The pin that goes through there is the thumb safety. Sorry, before we slide in the thumb safety, we're going to put this spring and plunger back in here. So there's a long end and a short end to it. Short end right there. We're going to slide it in, and it just kind of pushes in there. Okay, we're going to do that. Then we're going to put in the thumb safety. Again, good time for the little screwdriver, because you're going to have to hold, kind of push back on that. There you go, on that little plunger that we just put in, just to get it out of the way of the thumb safety, so you can click it in. So right there, it's clicked in. See it out the back there. Okay. Next, what we're going to do, we're going to kind of let gravity do its work here. Let that kind of, I don't know if you can see that, let it kind of hang. And you want to kind of line it up. There's a little hole, kind of an indent in the mainspring housing. That's where it's going to go. So you want to kind of line it up. Again, you shouldn't force it. If you have to force it and it's springing back, it's not right. So you're not going to be able to see this on camera very well, but I'm just trying to kind of hold it here. Hold it kind of gently with this, kind of lining it up, looking in, and then I'm just going to push in the mainspring housing. See, like that. That easy. If I release it, it doesn't spring back. If you're doing it incorrectly and it's not lined up properly, when you push this in, it's going to want to come back. It's going to force itself out, and you have to push quite hard and all that. That's wrong. Don't do that. So it should go in really nice and smooth like that just did. Sometimes it takes a couple times. Got lucky on that one. Now you're going to lock it in with the pin. This is the pin with the notch in the middle of it, by the way. So again, indented side is what you're going to push from. So it goes in. You will have to tap this in. I guarantee you that. You will have to tap this in. So I'm going to tap it in. I know this is kind of a crude tool, but it works. So I'm just going to give it a little tap. There you go. And it's flush in there. Flush in. Flush in. So now you can test it. We're basically done on the frame here. So again, half cock, full cock, and pull the trigger. That works fine. As well, you want to check the safeties. So again, we can cock it without touching the grip safety, obviously. Try to pull the trigger. Here. So the hammer does not release, which is good, obviously. Your safety is working. And you can also check the thumb safety. So we'll click that to the on position. We'll grab it, pull the trigger, and obviously the hammer should not drop. So that's good. It is together correctly. All that's left now are the grips. I'll start part 3 here.